Cincinnati Bengals regular season win projection is 7 games. We give you the smart money play next. Joined here from Gamblers Television, covering the NFL Vegas style all season long. A poor 2-6 start to the 2000 season led to a disappointing 7-9 record for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, it was the first losing season for Bengal head coach Marvin Lewis during his 5-year tenure with the team. Now, the defense played poorly last season, and with that came a change in the defensive coordinator. Former Dallas Cowboy defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer takes over the job of fixing the defense in Cincinnati. Now, on offense, the Bengals ran the ball poorly, and Carson Palmer, despite passing for over 4,000 yards and 26 TDs, threw his career worst 20 interceptions. Odds makers set the Cincinnati Bengals 2008 regular season win projection total at 7 wins. Let's take a look at their schedule. Cincinnati plays in the AFC North, and that means 2 games against the Steelers, Browns, and Ravens. Now, the AFC North has a difficult schedule, facing the NFC East and AFC South this season. The Bengals do catch a break, facing the weaker teams from the NFC East at home against the Redskins and Eagles, making a 2-2 record against the division a bit easier. Now, as a third-place team in the AFC North last season, they catch 2 other third-place teams from the AFC in Kansas City and the New York Jets, making things much easier for them than, say, first-place Steelers, who must play New England and San Diego. Let's take a look at their offense. Carson Palmer is a top 5 quarterback in this league and really did not have much of a running game behind him. Rudi Johnson needs to run the ball better for the Bengals in 2008. Now, he was hit with a hamstring injury last season and rushed for only 497 yards and averaged only 2.9 yards per rushing attempt in 2007. Now, Johnson dropped considerable weight prior to the 2007 season and has added 15 pounds of muscle to his body, now in hopes of being a more durable and effective back this season. Now, with a healthy Johnson, backup running back Kenny Watson can resume his duties as an effective third down back for the Bengals. Watson in 2006 averaged 9.3 yards per catch out of the backfield. Now, Chris Perry has been a disappointment since being drafted in the first round by Cincinnati. If healthy, those 3 really can improve the ground game for the Bengals this season. Wide receiver Chad Johnson grabbed headlines during the offseason with his tirades about his team, but the fact is he had only 8 TD receptions last season. Johnson's going to be in camp in late July, so all this nonsense seems to have paused for the time being. Johnson had a bad year last season, so the act only works when you have the numbers that back you. Houshmandzadeh led the team in touchdown receptions last season, and his 112 total receptions tied for the most in the NFL in 2007. He's in his contract year, so expect another huge year from TJ. Let's take a look at their defense. Mike Zimmer has a young defense. 7 of his 11 starters have 2 years or less of service in the league. Now, a priority for this unit is to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The Bengals had only, the league worst 22 sacks last season. Keith Rivers is a great addition to the Bengals defense. Now, the 9th pick in the draft gives the Bengals a force against the run with his ability to chase down opposing running backs. Now, defensive end Antoine Odom comes over from Tennessee. He had 8 sacks last season. Now, troubled Fresno State defensive lineman Jason Shirley and his big 6'5", 330-pound size could be the steal of this draft. Now, hopefully Zimmer can get this kid's head on straight. Now, the Bengals' last 3 first-round picks are all on the defensive side of the ball, and all are projected to start in 2008. And now to my selection. Despite a difficult schedule, they do get breaks in facing the Eagles and Redskins at home, as well as facing the Jets and Chiefs, who were third-place teams from the AFC last season. No nonsense, Mike Zimmer is a huge upgrade at defensive coordinator, and will get the respect of the younger players. Now, even under Dave Campo era, Mike Zimmer's defense under the Dallas Cowboys were exceptional. Now, the nonsense is over now for Chad Johnson. With the running game getting better, it'll mean opposing defenses will have to respect the play action. Now, the balance on offense will mean more production from Ocho Cinco. Now, when camp begins and the players look around at the talent on offense and the impact Mike Zimmer is having on the defense, this team is going to gel. Play the Cincinnati Bengals over 7 wins for the 2008 season. Be sure to visit and bookmark my television show page at www.gamblerstelevision.com for continuous point-spread coverage from the NFL. Gamblers Television. Get addicted.